Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs Pregame Show presented by PointsBet. Use that promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. A 4-pack of power getting you ready for the Cubs going for their 7th straight win. Cody Del Mendo, top left corner. I'm Luke Stuckmeyer, Ryan Herrera, bottom left corner. And batting cleanup, Mr. Corey Friedman jumping in for a Friday podcast. You know it's a big game when you have 4 of us. That's how you know that there's No, it's not a big game, guys. They could be going for 15 in a row. It still would not be a big game. It's a big week because we're waiting for all those trades. And today was actually kind of it was a quiet day. I didn't hear a whole lot going on out there. I didn't see any movement. About the biggest update I saw was MLB trade rumors saying the Padres are now the front runner for Juan Soto. But other than that, kind of a slow Friday. What do you think?
Well, let's just emphasize that the Padres they're now the favorites to get Juan Soto. Like, let's really emphasize it because that was the best news of the day.
It was kind of
the Cardinals.
Not the Cardinals. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's Cody's favorite thing to hear today. Yeah, it was kind of weird. I mean, I don't know. Did you guys expect after the Andrew Benintendi trade yet, like last night that broke, did you guys expect things to just start going crazy? I mean, wasn't there?
I started refreshing. I refreshed the timeline for a good half hour after it had broke, and just to see if anything would come of it. And I researched the prospects the Royals got from the Yankees and
TJ Sycamore, former Mizzou pitcher. Let's go.
Joel's calling you Cody biceps over there, Cody, showing off the pythons on Friday night.
You want to see a really good high quality version? You should go watch the CHGO Bulls show today on YouTube because it was.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were Bulls today too, right?
Yeah, I was on the Bulls show today, and we were in studio, and the lighting's so much better at the studio than my 900-foot square apartment here. So
give the extra definition.
Yeah.
Triple duty for Cody today.
Yeah, 3 shows today, or 4 shows if you want to count pregame. But again, like I say, man, like man of the people. It's all I am. Just here to try to, grind through life and give the people what they want, man.
He's the David Kaplan of CHGO. He's working on his 3rd job of the day right now. He's got a little extra something going.
Got a little bit more hair
doing the Bulls show. I mean, they go high energy. Packing Big Dave, you got to have the juice up to an 8.
Yeah, no, the vibes were immaculate. I think I said at the beginning I was like, I don't think there could be a show with 3 people at CHGO who has like the most like energy. I think like them 2, and then those guys always tell me that my energy matches them whenever they watch our show. So I take that as a gigantic compliment with coming from those guys. So,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you 3 guys in one room, somebody should probably get taken down with a tranquilizer dart just so for the safety of everyone in the room. Like there's a little too much energy.
There was one point they were reading a PointsBet ad, and you know how they do those ads, man. They just go above and beyond. And like, I was like, right after they were, I was like, I need to get Stucky like 50 milligrams of like caffeine, see if he can do something like this one time.
Give him a 5-hour energy right before the.
I could do it 30 years ago. Hey, Justin Steele on the mound as the Cubs finish up the month with 4 against the Giants. Every start for Steele or Thompson is big to me. I just want to see him continue like the trajectory that he's on, like continue that path that he's on to becoming a real major league starter. I've seen enough to believe that he can be in a rotation for the Cubs moving forward. I would love him to see him get to the point by the end of the season where I believe that he's not only just a part of a rotation, that he could be a key piece of the rotation. And maybe that's a little too much to ask, but I've been pretty impressed with both of them. I both have given me already more than I expected this season. Corey, do you feel that way, or this is what you expected out of Steele?
No, I mean, I think that they've both been quite impressive. I think the fact that, if Steele has a good game tonight, we're looking at 2 homegrown starters in the Cubs rotation that are going to have sub-4 ERAs this deep into the season is I expected them to be good, competitive, but you sort of expect some bumps in the road. And for the most part, they really have not been there. It's really what you said. It's a question of where might they fit into a future rotation rather than like, oh, should one go back to the bullpen? Are they better in that role? I think we're kind of past that. And I've actually, I think you hope for more dominant starts, more strikeouts, things like that. But I've actually been quite impressed, like with the last start that we saw from Steele, where he was battling the command a little bit, had more walks, than you'd like to see, but limits the hits, only gives up 1 run, guts through 5 innings. Like that's the type of stuff that you really need to be able to do to stay in a rotation long term, like be able to grind it out and help the team get a W when you don't have your best stuff. And we've seen both of them do that.
Yeah, Ryan, I'd like to see I guess it's getting less and less common, but I would like to see deeper innings. And maybe that's old fashioned of me, but I would like to see, 6 innings, 7 innings more often than I see 4 innings, 5 innings, even though the production's been good. I don't know. Maybe that's not the game anymore. Maybe I'm old school, but I would like to see guys, pitch well enough and be efficient enough that they can get into the 7th inning, even though that's the way the game is played today. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's what I said. Maybe last week we were kind of talking about the two guys like Keegan and Justin. I think it looks like Steele has gotten past. He's not going only 4 innings, and he's already at 9. He's starting to get up there in innings. I don't think he's thrown less than 5 innings in a start since like the end of May. Like May 26th, he had 2 innings pitched. The rest of the season so far, he's pitched at least through 5. But yeah, and I think one of the things that we've noticed, and David Ross has talked about it a little bit, and he always kind of seems to have that 1 inning that his pitch count rises. He has to work a little harder, maybe a little bit of traffic on the bases, and that's what kind of doesn't allow him to go deeper into starts most of the time. So I think that's the one thing you want to see is him being able to limit those starts or those innings where he's throwing 25 plus pitches. I don't know for sure exactly the total, but like if he's throwing more pitches in that, like especially early on in the game when he's out there for a long time, that long inning, that's going to, of course, not allow him to go deeper in the game. So that's what you want to see him is just if he gives up a hit in the first inning or a couple hits in the third, like if he's able to spread them out a little bit more, that's better than he's getting constant traffic throughout 1 inning. And that just kind of is what, not his downfall, but it's just like that it's kind of been the reason why he hasn't gone deeper into every game. He's hit 7 innings twice this season, which is good for him. I know he's talked about wanting to throw as many complete games as he possibly can, especially after that Fergie Jenkins day, who we know Fergie Jenkins is like him specifically, but just the era in general, everyone through complete games. That's not the game anymore, but to get through 6, to get through 7, like that's, I think getting at least through 6 consistently is what you want to see out of Justin. And so, we'll see what he can do today. Obviously, he's still not giving up hard contact at all. Like that's one of the best signs out of him is like the barrel rate is towards the top of the league. But yeah, just making sure or being able to get through those innings quicker than or as quick as he can, especially that 1 inning that he seems to always have. Like that's, you want to see Justin kind of put that behind him and just be able to get through 6 innings, give himself, what's it called? Like the amount of innings necessary to qualify for a quality start. Like that's, I think what you want to see out of him every night.
Yeah. And I also saw the news from the Tribune and some other sites that Adbert Alzolai's, been throwing bullpens, and in the next week or so, he's going to now move on to live BP. And, it just sort of reminded me going into this game, like if I would have taken Alzolai, Steele, and Thompson going into this season, my highest expectations would have been for Alzolai. So I don't want to give up on him. And I am curious about that progress. And it's something I want to watch the end of the season. I'm really hopeful he can come back and at least save some of his season. But wouldn't it be something if he could do what they did this season with, really kind of electric stuff sometimes and maybe be a third piece of that rotation? That would be a development this season that I think very few would have seen. Now, it's going to be difficult for Alzolay to do it, but if you had 3 young guys now at least fighting for realistic spots in a rotation, you'd have to look at that as a huge positive for this season, despite the fact that they're going to be selling off again, despite the fact that they're going to be way under 500 when the season ends. They might be in last place, but if you could find 3 young guys that you said, wait a minute, these aren't just guys we have in our system. These are guys we believe will be pieces of rotation. So I don't want to forget about Alzolay and having Steele pitch tonight just reminded me a little bit that, like, listen, I know people are down on him because he's been hurt and he's been out the whole season, but if these 2 guys have been able to do it, there's no reason that Alzolay, when he comes back, can't show you some of that promise that he did, just a couple times in the major leagues. Now, it was inconsistent, but I would like to see him do what they're doing, and then he'd really have something.
Yeah, I mean, just to add, I guess, my thinking for Alzolay now is, for this year at least, I'd love to see if he could come back in September at the earliest, I guess. I guess September is a good time frame, and just let him pitch in the bullpen. And and the reason I say bullpen is, one, Cubs about to sell off 3 or 4 bullpen arms anyway, so they're going to need arms in the pen. And if he can get through September and go into the offseason healthy, then you got some upside there for whatever role they see for him in 2023. I still think that he could start next year, potentially. Again, health is such a big thing, and that's why I think I said it a week or 2 ago on one of these shows that he's been my biggest disappointment, aside from Nick Magical probably. But going into the year, you thought that he was going to be slot in as your perhaps a 4 or 5 starter, and had the highest upside in terms of stuff going into the year, and then just to see that he got hurt, really not even playing, just playing catch or something like that, right? It's discouraging, and then it just kind of piles on to all these other injuries that the Cubs have had on the farm with Braylon Marquez and Miguel Amaya and stuff like that.
I see Paul's saying this producer, aka Joey, doesn't put up the comments. What happened, Luke and Cody? Paul, I think he's just ignoring you. I think he's just ignoring you, Paul.
Paul's been cracking me up in the comments, honestly.
He was going with the daddy comments again.
Yeah.
Cody's Luke's daddy. Luke is Cody's daddy. Herb is everybody's daddy. And
he ranked me 4th. He said Herb, then Cody, then Luke, then me, and then Sean, and didn't even rank Corey.
What about Corey?
This is rude.
Yeah.
He did ask about Ian Happ and the White Sox. I mean, I still don't understand why the White Sox and the Cubs would make a trade with Ian Happ. That one doesn't make sense to me. And I don't think the White Sox are going to send. I don't think the White Sox are going to send a top 1 or 2 prospect. Their farm sucks. It's not good. It's ranked near the bottom in baseball. And so if you want a guy like Ian Happ with 1 more year of control, I just assume that you would have to send one of your top 3 prospects.
And they'd have to be bold enough to say, you know what, Happ hasn't played second base in a long time, but this is where we're going to play him. Being a switcher, they do need a left-handed bat, and it would be a big piece to add to their lineup. But I don't know if he fits exactly what they need. I think other teams will have a bigger need for Ian Happ than the White Sox do. But that's we're going to talk about the White Sox, Paul. For more on the Sox, you're going to have to go to CHGO Sox.
Yeah. I'm curious. Because I predicted that on our trade deadline draft last week. Draft, quote unquote. I said it based on no knowledge, no insider knowledge. It's just Ian Happ for the Sox. Corey, what do you think? I saw you.
I'm not a fan of Jed Hoyer taking calls from that team because I don't like how those trades have gone. So look somewhere else. Yeah. Talk to any other team. I don't like how those trades have gone. I'm not interested.
Oh, and then I for one don't want it to happen just because I know how social media will react right after. And I don't this next 6-7 days are going to be painful enough, man. I don't need a bunch of people from the south side of town, giving me their 2 cents. I don't need it. I don't.
Yeah, Paul. Cubs lineup, by the way, tonight: Morel, Contreras, Happ, Suzuki, Horner, Wisdom, Schwindel, good old Jan, and then Nelson Velasquez. Contreras DH. I do love that. I don't need to see Contreras catching again in a Cubs uniform, assuming they're trading him, because they are trading him. The risk of injury is higher behind the plate than it is sitting on the bench most of the game. And if you have to keep him in there, to showcase him even more, a DH is just fine. I don't need to see him catching any more games where, swing of a bat, somebody sliding into home. At this point, I actually had a friend ask me this, and I think it was a dumb question. I told him it was a dumb question. He's like, well, should I be rooting for Contreras to get hurt so that way they can't trade him? I'm like, no, because if he gets hurt, they're just going to get nothing for him. They're still not going to sign him. So, at this point, if you can accept the fact that Wilson Contreras is going to get traded, then you don't want him to get hurt. You don't want him on the field, and you want it to happen sooner rather than later. So I'm okay with DH tonight, and I'm okay with DH all the way up to August 2nd if that's what it takes. A lot of these guys, I wouldn't pitch too many of them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm honestly, what's bothering me the most is that this Juan Soto thing is really delaying the market. Once that is figured out, that's when things are going to start flying off the rails. And the thing is I think the Nationals are going to get it done, but it might come down to the very last day. So how much longer can Jed Hoyer wait? I'm surprised at this point on Thursday, the 28th of July, guys, and not one of them have been moved. None of them. We got 5 days? I don't know. I know there's still a lot of time left, but I thought we would have at least one or two gone by now. I thought we were gonna have to do an emergency pod by now. I don't know. I say that, and now they're gonna just let it all out on tomorrow or
even last
tonight.
year. We got kind of like a slow trickle, right? I think Chafin was the first move to go, or maybe it was Jock, and then Chafin. Jock was first,
right.
But that was over a pretty lengthy span. That didn't all happen right before the deadline. I think Chafin was the Monday.
Yeah.
It was Thursday, Friday, right? So it is interesting that it hasn't happened. I'm hopeful, though, if the Padres really want Juan Soto, they have the best group. If AJ Preller wants to get nuts, I don't think that the evil team from St. Louis can match that. So that's got to be what we're all hoping for, is that AJ Preller decides I think they have a better package to offer. I really do. If he really wants him.
But don't you want some of those guys coming over for Contreras and happen a double deal?
Well, so that's a good question.
What would you rather have? Some of those prospects or some of those prospects going to the Nationals?
Would you rather something that sort of benefits the Cubs be involved, but then maybe Juan Soto is a Cardinal? Or
I am willing to sacrifice. I am anything. I will literally take anything to keep Juan Soto out of St. Louis.
I'm with you, but it is a fair point, Luke.
I'd like to see him in the American League. That's right.
I'd like to see him there too. I just
go to the Yankees. Who cares? Right?
I'm surprised the Yankees aren't making a bigger push at this, because Aaron Judge is going to be a free agent anyway, and at this point, it doesn't look like they're going to re-sign him with everything we hear in these rumors. Why not just go ahead and trade for Soto now and ride out the rest of Judge the rest of the season, and then I don't their team is right there, right? On the brink of winning at least.
Benintendi's a good get for them.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel I feel like this is the year of all years for the Yankees to just go all in on everything. They haven't won a World Series in over a decade. Just freaking do it. Trade for Soto so I can win a bet, and also I don't have to worry about him going to St. Louis. Thanks.
Brendan is trying to chime in. He's like, why aren't we talking about buying? They have the best record since the All-Star break.
Joey, kick him from the chat.
Could you imagine?
I love this.
I saw you imagine today. Today he was on Twitter talking about Nico's launch angle. It's like
Yeah.
I looked at the two graphics. I wanted to send him a Slack message like, I can't tell what that is. Like, I just see blobs of color. I have no idea what that means about launch angle.
It's good.
It's pretty.
That was my takeaway. That
He says
whatever
mute
Nico's doing, it's
Corey.
good. So
Yeah.
No, Brendan will tell you that they're what 13 games away from what is the thing? Is like 17 games away from 500, just 17-game winning streak away. Could you imagine though the Cubs winning these 4 games, sweeping the Giants, like going into the trade deadline on a 10-game winning streak and then selling 6 different players on a team? Like that's just like the balance. I mean, we know it's going to happen, but the balance of a 10-game winning streak going into just complete fire sale.
It's kind of similar to maybe the Orioles. Anyone see Trey Mancini hit like a inside the park homer today, and what potentially was his last at bat as an Oriole at home?
Hit off someone's head.
Yeah, like I saw someone in the comments say, like, I think the caption was like, "How can you not be romantic about baseball?" And then someone in the comments like, "We shouldn't be celebrating teams selling off their best players or something like that." Orioles situation is very unique because like they're 500, they're an ascending team, going to be really good. Or at least they have the prospects to like project to be really good over the next couple of years. And like Trey Mancini's like one of their best players, and they're going to sell him because they're in the AL East and they have no chance of winning that division. I honestly, I think they should keep him and just try and get in the wild card because why not? Like, but that's just me.
What kind of bet you making tonight, Cody? Anything big?
Yeah. I am taking Nico Hoerner to get 2 total bases tonight, Luke.
That sounds good. I'll tell you why later.
Yeah, you don't say. All I can say, I sent out a tweet saying that I was taking Nico Hoerner 2 total bases. He hits very well against lefties, and he's been red hot since the All-Star break. So sounds like an easy bet for me. I'm probably going to have to freaking sweat it out, though, because betting is not easy. If it was easy, I'd be rich, and I wouldn't be doing this podcast.
Come
anyway.
on.
you can do it for fun.
Ooh,
Perhaps I might be doing it for fun.
for free. Bring some of the rest of the money this way.
Right. Well, I'm if PointsBet would just give me more money out of all the bets I make, that'd be cool. But I get they have their part too. That's why we have this partnership with them, and they're the best way to support them is if you support CHGO, and the best way to support CHGO is if you download PointsBet app. I think I said that all correctly. Yeah.
Sounds right to me.
Right. And, open up that app. You go to register your account, use the code CHGO when you sign up. If you do that right now, you get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. That's not it, guys. If you make a $50 or more first-time deposit, you receive a free CHGO membership, which unlocks all of our web content. You even get a free shirt of your choice from the CHGO Locker. That's $2,000 in free bets, a free CHGO membership, and a free t-shirt from the CHGO Locker. All for making more than a $50 first-time deposit at PointsBet. If you have any questions, you can email pointsbet@allchgo.com and we'll help you out. You're home for live in-play betting. Just got even better. See an edge in the game you're watching. Is your favorite team primed for a comeback? Don't just watch the game, bet along with it live. More live betting, more live markets, and faster live cash outs. Follow along with your bets the moment they hit and stay in the live action all game long. Download the PointsBet app right now and use promo code CHGO. So what are you waiting for? It's time to elevate your live betting game. Once the game starts, don't just bet, live your bet life with PointsBet. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER for crisis counseling and referral services.
By the way, have you guys – I go, if you're in the city, probably not. I was just in my house thinking, what is that noise? What is going on? It's the cicadas outside. Like, is every year like the 20-year cicada or whatever they're called? Like, they're everywhere, and they're so ungodly loud. I don't like.
Yeah, aren't they supposed to come out like only every 17 years?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 17, and then every year they're out in the backyard, and you're like, I don't know. Anyways, off topic. Who you got? Let's get to it. I had the first pick, so I went with Nico Hoerner. What I think is surprising about tonight's who you got is that nobody took Velasquez, who's 5 for 17 the last 10 games with 3 homers and 7 RBI. Like, he's another guy that's been doing some damage, but we pretty much seem to go with the same 4 guys. Except for you alter in a Contreras goes in there, and then sometimes the starting pitcher.
Yeah.
Well,
but I can't do that. I'm not allowed to take the pitcher. So
I went Ian Happ. Reason being, got a left-handed pitcher on the mound, Alex Wood. First right-handed batters this year, hitting 282, 770 OPS. Right-handed batters are hitting well against Ian Happ, hitting righty this year versus left-handed pitchers, 346 batting average, 920 OPS. Maybe one of his last couple games in a Cubs uniform. Like, I think he's motivated, and I think this is the perfect spot for him. So I'm going Ian Happ.
Yeah, Christopher Morel. I mean, the last couple games, he's went 0 for the last couple games. So I think he's, again, Alex Wood. Morel's been just hitting the ball hard. And I feel like Nico or Morel have a really good shot to Nico and Happ have really good shots to maybe get a triple tonight, because all I got to do is hit it into that big gap out there in right center at Oracle Park. Morel, he's taking the ball at the opposite field a little bit too. Not nearly as much as those guys, but either way, he's got the speed. I like his his qualities in this ballpark. So yeah, he's never faced Alex Wood, but I have a feeling about Morel tonight.
He's never.
But I am also rooting for Nico.
He's never faced a lot of pitchers in this league. Right.
Well, again, I feel like that could be used as an advantage for him because, Alex Wood, are we going to get afraid of Alex Wood? This Giants team's reeling right now. I'm saying all this. I'm jinxing it. So sorry.
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah.
Michael's going with Ricketts because he's going to be counting his money by the third inning, he said, even on the road.
On brand as always.
Yeah. Corey, you went Seiya?
Yeah, apologies to Seiya in advance. I never win this. My guys never get hits, so I apologize. I'm with Cody, though. I was thinking about, I think I went third, but I was thinking about Morel because this ballpark, it feels like you go to that right center gap or you hit one off that big wall and right, it takes a weird bounce. Like Morel just seems like the type of guy who might, little league homer in this series, inside the park home run, triple type thing. But yeah, similar to what Ryan said, you just look at Alex Wood's splits against right-handed hitters. I think Seiya has been seeing the ball really well. He had that really long home run in that last series against the Pirates. So just hoping for a big series here, a big ballpark. But again, apologies to Seiya when he goes over 4 with 4 strikeouts.
I hope he doesn't strike out at least. I mean, if he goes over Luke, 4, that's fine. Just don't strike out 4 times.
So Luke jinxes pitchers when he picks them.
That's right.
Cody jinxes anyone when he picks them. Is what we're saying.
Do I? I lead who you got. Okay.
No, me.
Corey.
Yeah.
Corey jinxes everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I can't do that to Justin Steele. There's really looking up and down this lineup, there's just not really. I mean, I guess I could have said Jan Gomes. Apologies to Jan Gomes, but does anybody really care how he does on offense, right?
Hey,
I guess I could have done that.
He had the Jan Gomes game on Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. But is anybody, we're not watching his development, right? Seiya, it's important that he does well, so maybe I should leave him alone.
I was, we were talking before we came on the podcast about Metallica tonight at Lollapalooza, and I was thinking, do you think we could use Metallica songs on YouTube, little clips that we could make a theme out of the post-game show? Every time we talk trade value, we'd play For Whom the Bell Tolls or Enter Sandman, or can we get away with that on YouTube, or is that not?
Maybe not on YouTube, but it's all over the internet now because of Stranger Things. So
everybody
and their brother is listening to Master of Puppets now.
That's right. Is
you
there
can play it on
you'd rather
TikTok.
be tonight than doing this podcast? I'd love to
Murphy's.
see Metallica, but Lollapalooza is not the place for it for me.
I'm trying to imagine Luke jammed in on the rail at the main stage in Grant Park with a bunch of,
I've only been to
teenagers and
Lolla
college
once, and it
students.
was to see Foo Fighters in an absolute downpour. I don't remember how many years ago that was, but probably 6, 7 years ago. 8, no, more than that. 8 years ago. It was one of those epic Chicago summer storms, and they played through the most insane rainstorm ever. That's the only time I ever went to Lolla, and I was like, they'll never top that, and I don't need to ever go back.
We're gonna be on Twitter tomorrow, and there'll be a viral video of the whole like all the people like rushing the fence and jumping over the fence and stuff. All of a sudden you're gonna see Luke running in and trying to climb up the fence to
With
go
the
see
readers
Metallica
on.
tonight. Yeah, with the readers on. But,
Yeah, put the readers on.
Go do it, Luke. Just do
See
it.
me
Do it for
cutting
the
in line
clicks.
at the porta potty, more likely to be what's going on there.
Do it for the clicks.
Oh gosh.
Wow, it's really loud here. Somebody said, "Come on now." I've been to plenty of rock concerts. I don't know who Little Baby is, but whatever. I'm sure he's great. Is it a him or a her?
It's a him,
It's a him.
I think.
All
I
right.
believe.
Well, good
God.
luck to
Little
Little Baby. Cubs go for 7 in a row. And hey, this is on regular marquee, right? I don't have to go get the Geek Squad trying to hook up my TV for this.
I'm pretty
regular
sure.
marquee.
Regular marquee.
Oh yeah, that is.
I hope
regular marquee.
Sutcliffe is out here. I need some Sutcliffe morale tonight, man.
Was it marquee tonight? Apple TV tomorrow. Back on marquee Saturday, and then ESPN for Sunday Night Baseball on Sunday.
Oh, they're gonna.
Brutal.
We're on national television on Sunday. Oh,
Yes. Good
yeah.
luck.
Imagine if they trade them all during the Sunday night broadcast. Oh my
Oh,
god.
man.
Countdown to Iowa. Countdown to the big game in Iowa.
Oh my
Everybody's
God.
looking forward to it. Thanks for checking out the CHGO Cubs pregame show presented by PointsBet. We will be back here after the game for a full hour, and I do have one question to ask before we go. If you fall asleep and you're working, but you're working at home, does it count as falling asleep at work? I'll let you ponder that, and we'll see you on the postgame show.